Good day. Damon Friedman here with the Force for Good Show podcast. And I got something else that I need to share from my heart. And the topic is going to be on insecurity. As I've been recently kind of just sifting through all my goods, my bads, my uglies, right? I'm constantly just trying to be the best version of myself. And I think that there's a lot of people out there that are also trying to do the same thing. Something that I have found and realized that's been kind of a dominating variable in my life is insecurity. You know, just recently I've been kind of taking a step back and just thinking through my life and some of my struggles. And I've realized something about myself, that I'm an insecure person. And do you realize what it takes to look at yourself in the mirror and actually come up with the truth, and it's about insecurity? Most people are unwilling to do that, and most people will deny it. But I'm going to tell you that for me, since I was a kid, I have felt insecure, and I wrote some of the things down on this, right? Like, insecure people tend to quit a lot. They really do. They feel like they're not good enough. They don't think that they're strong enough. They're not fast enough. They're just not enough. And my insecurities started when I was a kid, and I was told by people of authority, people that I trusted, not just within family, but within schools, teachers, that I was a loser. I wasn't good enough. Now, I will tell you, though, I did struggle big time. And this is something that is really prevalent. I lived in low-income housing. I lived in the melting pot. I went to very poor schools, and it was a struggle. It really was. Passing from one grade to another, the way that you passed in L.A. was just that, just don't get into too many fights, right? I think I had the record for the most absences that still passed. And I think that was a part of the process, right? We just need to get the kids moving forward. Probably the California school system, but yeah, I'm always going to go back to my biological father when he said that I would never amount to anything without him. And I was really short as a kid. I was really small. And I was the kid that got my butt kicked all the time. Like, I'd go wherever I went. I was that kid. So if you're like that tall kid and you saw the little kid, the shorty, then it was me. And the bullies would come and beat me up. And I will tell you that for me, I learned to fight real quick because they would always pick on me. And eventually, after getting picked on and getting your butt beat all the time, you learn how to fight. And then you become like a small piece of iron, But I was always so insecure because I wasn't really good at anything in particular. I really wasn't. I wouldn't say I was that talented, and I wouldn't say that I was really good in any type of sports. Like, I was the last. Honestly, like, I was the last kid picked in just about every sport, even kickball. Like, seriously, kickball? Dodgeball? I mean, come on, man. We're not talking about baseball or football, or we're not talking about soccer. I mean, I was okay at soccer, but I was still the last kid picked. At least that's what I remember. And when I was younger, I learned to quit. I really did. And it wasn't until recently that I realized that that's something that I had done. And there's a few times that I quit in my life. There's no doubt. And there's nothing worse than quitting on something that's so important to you. And I'm here to ask you, man, are you a quitter? Is it possible that maybe you quit because you didn't have enough confidence that you could do it? That even with the challenge or an overwhelming odd, like, you still just said, there's just no chance. Like, you never even gave yourself an opportunity to go through the grind and try to win. Well, for me, I wrote this down. Are you a quitter? Have you given up on your dreams? If your answer is yes, then my question is why? Why? Did someone tell you that you'd fail? Did someone tell you that you can't do it? Did someone tell you that you aren't smart enough? Did someone tell you that you aren't strong enough? Did someone tell you that you aren't good enough? Did someone tell you that you are just not enough? Or are you the one telling yourself that? Did you hear what I just said? Is somebody telling you that, or are you the one telling yourself? I'm just going to say right now that that's what people told me, and that's what I learned to tell myself. That's why I never had the confidence. I didn't have the confidence, man. And through this journey called life, I became very insecure. I didn't give myself the benefit of the doubt. From the outside, I had like this persona, like, I was tough, and then I was, I was in the grind and I was driving. But the reality is that that's not the case at all. Inside, I was afraid and I was insecure that I couldn't accomplish, that I couldn't do whatever it is that I set out to do. And I was that kid that wanted validation from everybody else. I was looking around the room. I was that class clown. Were you the class clown? Were you that kid trying to get attention? And if you didn't get good attention, you got bad attention? Well, I wasn't getting good attention because I wasn't getting good grades. And my behavior was, not good. I was a problem child. I was. And I was screaming for attention because I was insecure. And somewhere along the line in my life, I realized that if I was ever going to accomplish anything, I would have to come to terms with myself. I'd have to look at myself in the mirror the way that I'm looking into this camera. And I'd have to be real. I'd have to be transparent. I had to be honest with myself. Why are you so insecure? 5'0" 100 nothing. All right, well, you know what? Maybe you're not like 6 foot. Maybe you aren't 200 something pounds of pure muscle. Go through any walls. Maybe, you're not a genius. Maybe you're not going to some Ivy League school or whatever it was. Right? Yeah, okay, so you barely made it out of high school. I got that. But did you barely make it out of high school because you just didn't give it your all because you were afraid to fail? Did you avoid certain things so that you wouldn't have to experience failure? Were you busy telling yourself that you couldn't do it so you didn't? Did you start something, then all of a sudden, you pulled a hammy and now you can't compete? It's your way out. That's me, man. 1,000,000,000%. And somewhere along the way, I made a command decision to stop. Stop listening to the naysayers. Stop listening to what all the other people said that I couldn't do. And let me tell you something. Everybody out there that's listening and watching or whatever it is, there are a lot of people out there that are going to tell you you can't do it, whatever it may be. And the reality is that you're never, ever, ever going to be able to do it unless you believe in yourself. Now, I got it, right? Like, there's brain surgeons. I mean, you got to be pretty smart if you're going to operate on a brain, okay? I mean, astronauts. Look, if you don't become an astronaut, I'm sorry, but 99.9% of humans don't, But there's a lot of things that you can do. There's a lot of things that you can do. For me, I wanted to serve my country. When people look at me and my history and my past and my resume, it's like, you joined the Marine Corps? Yeah, I joined the Corps. There's no way that you joined the Marine Corps. You had no discipline when you were growing up. Yeah, I know I didn't have any discipline growing up. What were you even thinking? You're just a little guy. Yeah, I was a little guy, but one day I decided to look at myself in the mirror and say, I want to be more. And I grabbed all that insecurity and I grabbed a hammer and I shattered it. I just shattered it. It's still something that lingers along the way because when you're so insecure for so many years, it just becomes a part of you. Even when you start accomplishing new things and you're setting out to accomplish bigger and more, insecurity starts creeping up on you. Hey, Damon, you can't do it. You sure you want to set yourself up for failure? Stop lying to yourself, man. because the probability of being able to do it is high. I'll tell you, I'm the first guy. If you ever look back at my grades and anybody else, man, I was that kid that struggled in the school. And I didn't think that I was smart enough. I didn't, because you know why? Everybody else told me that I wasn't. And it wasn't until college I had Dr. Kearney and Dr. Vandenthorpe, particularly from Lewis University. Shout out to both of you. You guys changed my world. This was like the third school that I went to. I struggled with my academics, and then all of a sudden they said, you know what? You can do this, Damon. I needed some help. I had a kind of a learning disability, and it was there at Lewis University that I figured out, oh, you know, I was seeing something, but I couldn't process it. I was reading it, and I couldn't process it. I could hear it. I wasn't processing it. All of a sudden, we did some tweaks, and did some courses, and before I know it, boom, everything was working on all cylinders. I used to struggle to get C's. Now, I was just getting A's. I was just hammering them. People believed in me, but there was a one point in time where I said, stop. You got to stop lying to yourself. You can be smart. And you know what? I'm going to tell you. I'm the first person to tell you. You know, if you're one of those smart guys out there that, you know, you could take an hour and then you're going to get an A on the test, it's going to take me 3 to 4. But you know what? I'm in the grind, baby. It may take me 3 to 4 hours, but I'm going to get that A. I'm going to do it. And I'm here to tell you that insecurity plays a big role in the dreams that you want, the mission that you want to accomplish. Insecurity is a driving force, man, for so many people that won't even give themselves an opportunity. In fact, that you quit before you even try. As soon as the thought comes up in your head, you quit. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can do it. But it begins with stop lying to yourself. Stop listening to the naysayers and start believing in yourself. This is America, man. And I don't care. I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter if you come from nothing, no money, no legacy, no heritage, no nothing. You come from the streets. You come from downtown LA. You still got a shot because this is the United States of America. There are more programs out there to help you get wherever you want to go than you could possibly imagine. But it begins with you, and it begins with you need good work ethic, and you need discipline, and you need commitment, and you need strength, and you need courage. Because you know what? The reality is this is that it's hard. And anything good in life is hard to obtain. Anything good. There's nothing free. Nah, everybody wants everything for free. Especially in this generation. Give it to me, give it to me. It's like this privileged generation. I'm from Generation X, man. The greatest generation, just so you know, for all of you out there. A generation that worked hard. And I'm a product. I'm a product. And today, we were able to get a college degree, get a master's, get a doctorate, had the opportunity to go to Harvard. Man, I'm nothing special. I really am not. You go, oh, whoa, what are you talking about? Look at that academic record. Yeah, served 20 years in the military. I was a Special Operations Squadron Commander. Retired out as the Director of Future Operations for the Middle East for Special Operations Command Central. Whoa, dude, that's amazing. You did a lot. Yeah, let me tell you something, man. Because I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, I could do it. And I've been fighting insecurity my whole life. But I'm going to tell you, if you're out there and you haven't accomplished your goals, if you haven't accomplished that mission, may in fact be that your greatest enemy is you. So, insecurity. Look at yourself in the mirror. I do it all the time, man. I'm searching through my heart, my soul, my mind, and I'm trying to figure it out. What's wrong, Damon? What's wrong? You got one shot to live, my friends. This is a theme. This is a mantra, man. If you're ever going to do anything good in the world, you have to believe in yourself. I'm a person of faith. I believe that God has a plan for each and every person in this world. 8 billion people in the whole world, and I believe that every person has a gift I call a superpower. Find that superpower, man, and change the world for good. Don't be insecure. Surround yourself with other people that are confident and people that believe in you, people that will raise you up, people that will have your back. There's a lot of negativity out there, friends. A lot of negativity, and that's for another podcast. I'm here to tell you. People will keep you down just to raise themselves up. There's a lot of people out there that are super negative, and if you're surrounding yourself by them, they're the naysayers. They're the first people to tell you that you can't do it. Insecurity, man. If you're insecure, man, look at yourself in the mirror, be honest. Grab that insecurity. Take a hammer and crush it. And stop holding yourself back. This is Damon Friedman, Force for Good Show podcast. Godspeed.